Howdy, all. Thanks for coming tonight. For those that I have not met, my name is Mike Simmons, and my wife Liz, who's in the back here, wandering, trying to sneak in. We're the proprietors of the establishment that we sit in tonight, which has been kind of this whole weird journey. So for those that I'll do the quick little background plug. For those that don't know kind of what this place is, our kids empty nested, went away. We lived out in Zion, so we still live downtown. Kind of like adventure. Let's try that out. So we live about 4 blocks west of here, and I had a few old cars, and I looked for a place to store them, and I needed a small building, and this large building became available, and it's just too good to pass up. So this was, for those that don't know, this was the old Harrison College Chefs Academy. So many chefs and folks in that industry have come through here along the way. And then Harrison College closed down, and we bought the building about 4 years ago and redid the whole thing. It's kind of, it's the entrepreneur's curse, right? It's like, well, I just need a place to store my cars, but what if we got a place and other people could store their cars too? Maybe how's that work? So that's kind of what we're about. So what is Silo Auto Club? It's car storage. So it's collect your car, any kind of storage. We have people who just don't have an extra garage bay. Maybe they live downtown, they live somewhere else, store a car here. If you have a car stored here, you're a member. Membership's included. So we're a private club. We're a private club for car folk. It's the way that I tend to describe it. And you can be a member here if you don't have a car stored. So we have a social membership as well. You get on the mailing list. You get stuff like this, right? We get invited. We do wine tastings. We do music stuff. We're doing brunch with Santa here coming up. All those kinds of things that we normally do. And then lastly, we're an event space. So tonight, this is kind of our event, but certainly we've had weddings here. We've had tax seminars. We've had birthday parties. We've had, you name it. We've kind of been all over the map, and have really enjoyed that. And that's part of what we do. So if we can help you out with an event of any kind, graduation parties, whatever, it doesn't really matter. We do all that stuff. Jeff Hostetter, if you haven't met him, Jeff's was fine bar tonight. He kind of general manager of the place. So happy to help with anything that you guys might want to do here at the club. So that's the background on the club. And then the only other thing I would say is that my old buddy Bruce Kidd, sitting here in the front row, fellow Boilermaker. No booze allowed. So Bruce and I have known each other forever and ever, probably 25, 30 years. And we were on a golf trip last year, and Bruce is a music guy. So Bruce, for those that don't know Bruce does these great concerts for a cause. They're fundraisers. The money goes to designated charities each time. Bruce is a big music guy. He's in that world. I'm a big music guy, but not necessarily local. I'm not really hooked in, and Bruce is. And so we were on this golf trip, and Bruce said, "Hey, I used to do these things, kind of these little songwriter series kind of events. Would you have any interest in doing those down there at the club?" I said, "Let's do it. Let's give it a try." And so the kind of the way this works is Bruce tends to be the one he's the promoter and the booking agent. So he's hooked into the world of local musicians, does a great job of that. Normally, so we do these monthly, last Thursday of the month, typically, plus or minus. This one's kind of a funny one between Thanksgiving and Christmas, kind of time-wise. But we normally have 3 artists that are up here on stage at the same time. They know each other. They all play their own music. So this isn't something where you're going to hear a lot of covers. It's mostly songs and music that people have written on their own. And this was kind of extra special night tonight, which I won't steal Bruce's thunder. I'll let Bruce do that. But obviously kind of special event, holiday event here. And so we're really excited to host these. We're doing jazz brunches. We've kind of turned into this music thing. I love it, but I didn't really see it happen. So we've got a number of different bands and artists who played here, over the last few months. And so this is just an extension of that. So with that, I will say thank you for coming. Bar will be open afterward. Feel free to hang around as long as you would like. We would love to have you stay. If you have any interest in anything at the club, let me know, let Jeff know. We'll be happy to help. And with that, I'd like to introduce my good old buddy, Bruce Gay.
Thanks for coming. I'll be brief because you need to hear Josh, not me. So that golf trip Mike was talking about was in Chicago. So we had 3 hours in the car. And he's not really much of a conversation. So I had to keep the conversation going. And I said, you've got this great venue. Why don't we do some local artist concerts? Because they're all, this is during, before the pandemic, but I knew that they were all interested to play as much as they could, because that's what they love to do. So we decided to take a shot and do the first one in June, and we had 3 artists that came and played. We didn't know if anybody would show up. We had like 70 people show up, and the 3 artists, when they left, said, this is a great room to play in. It's small and intimate. It's kind of like doing a concert in your family room, and the sound's great, and we're just happy to be out playing again. So Mike and I and Jeff decided, well, let's just keep doing them every month until people stop showing up, and then we'll know we don't have to do them anymore. This is the largest audience we've had, so thanks for being our sold out show. There's some empty seats here. I'm not sure what happened there, but that's all right. They're real simple. Sit back and enjoy some really talented artists, sing their stuff, and have a fun evening away from home. So the gentlemen coming to play, when we were doing these, as Mike said, we do 3 artists per show typically, because it's just kind of fun. You hear 3 different types of artists play, and they enjoy playing with each other. But for this one, Mike and I decided, well, let's just do 1 artist and make it kind of special. And it was a really quick and easy decision who we want to have, because like 3 years ago, one of the artists that played for us last month he and his wife came and did a little concert in my basement. My wife and I do those once in a while because I can't get enough music, and I just like throwing parties. So Cliff Ritchie and his wife came to play at our house for 40 or 50 friends, and as he was coming in the front door, he said, hey, do you mind if I invite a friend to come and play and sit in with me? No, that's fine. Whoever you want to have play. He didn't say who it was. And so I'm getting set up in the basement, and down the stairs a few minutes later walks Josh Kaufman. This is your friend? So I didn't tell any of my friends who was coming to play, and Josh sat in the front row, everyone else is in my basement, and he gets up to start playing with Cliff, and as soon as he stands up, everybody recognizes him because they've seen him on The Voice. And, he's kind of legendary here in town because he's a fantastic artist. So for one night, I was like the coolest guy in town. I got to play at my house, and I didn't even know I was doing it. So it was a really easy decision who we wanted to have tonight, and couldn't be more delighted to have Josh come and play for us. So please help me in welcoming Mr. Josh Kaufman.